In this video we're going to be taking a look at one of the most hotly anticipated shoes of the year, the Adidas Prime X2 Strung. I'm going to tell you all the things I like and all the things I don't like about this new version of the shoe. I'm also going to let you into a little secret at the end of the video. What is up everybody and welcome to FORDY RUNS. My name's Chris Ford and I like running shoes. Do you like running shoes? Okay, so I thought it'd be good to do sort of first impressions of this shoe, the Adidas Prime X2 Strung. We've had about a week's worth of running in it. It's not particularly heavy miles, but I wanted to give you my first impressions because I wanted to try and save you the money if you're thinking about buying this shoe. So how this video is going to work, I'm going to tell you the stats and features because there's a lot going on here. I'm going to give you a little bit of context as well before we start. Then I'm going to get into things I like, things I don't like, and then I'm going to let you into that little secret at the end. Okay, right people, so Prime X1 Strung, I liked it, ran a half marathon in them, I think it was like 144, 145, might have been quicker. It was a good shoe, it was alright, but it didn't take my breath away. It was better than I expected, and I was sort of, I was sort of slightly taken aback by it. But it wasn't a shoe that really set my pulses racing, and I think that's probably because I love the Adidas Pro 3 so much. So I was excited when version 2 came out, mainly because Thomas from Believe in the Run hyped it up so bad. Now I have seen his review of this shoe, but I'm trying to be as sort of independent as I can with this, alright? So I appreciate that Thomas and what he said, and I'd really recommend you subscribe to the channel. But yeah, I'm going to go through the things that I like and things I don't like about this shoe, and they differ slightly to Thomas. Anyway, so yes, let's talk about actually the stats and features because there's a lot going on here. So this shoe is like Adidas's concept car. It's like the Formula 1 car in some respects, in terms of, you know, they chuck all this technology in here and then some of it filters down into the sort of road shoes, the legal shoes. Everything about this shoe is illegal. This is not a shoe that applies to any of the World Athletics ratings, rankings, or legalities or anything like that, okay? So there's a lot going on here. Adidas are chucking everything into here to see what sort of works. They'll develop that, and then the bits that they like, they'll then put into the rest of the shoes that they have. Okay, right, so let's get the stats and features done of this absolute monster. So firstly, stack height is 50 millimeters. They actually wrote it down. I think it's 43. I wrote this down actually, 43.5 at the front. So we've got a massive stack at the front. We've got 3 layers of Light Strike Pro in the shoe. We've got 2 carbon plates. We've got one that sits above this sort of, I don't know if you can see that coming out of the camera, this bit of foam here, and then one sits below it as well. So it's basically acting like a spring. They're carbon infused plates, by the way. We've got a new strung upper that's been designed again to increase the stability in the upper and improve the fit of the shoe, which I think is important. Got a little bit of foam around here, but it's not really doing anything. It's more like a one-piece booty construction. And I think, and I'm not sure, but I think they've reduced the eyelets on the shoe as well. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. We've got the Continental rubber on the shoe, which is very tacky and very sticky, which is good news as well. I don't know if you'll see that. Maybe I'll take a picture and show it on the screen, but you can see the carbon plates in there, which is kind of cool. Now, hear this. The weight. 11.6 ounces, 329 grams. This big old boy's put some weight on. And you can feel it in hand and you can feel it on foot. But we'll come into that. It does fit true to size. What else you need to know? I think that's probably about it. They've removed the energy rods in it. They've increased the width of the shoe to add some stability as well, which is good. I know the heel's a lot wider as well, which is good news. So it doesn't feel necessarily as unstable as it looks. It's got a 6.5mm drop, but yeah, I think the main thing here is the sort of 2 plates that are creating this spring with this, like, I don't know, this core here of foam, and it's like, feels a lot softer than the other 2 layers, and it is basically acting as a spring, and it'll be interesting to see if that also gets made illegal. Okay, right, so I think that's the stats and features done. They're the main things that are going on here. Like I said, this is like a test bed of technology for Adidas, and it's kind of cool. I kind of dig that. Right, okay, so in terms of feedback, you can really feel this like stack underfoot. It's really noticeable, this big lump of foam under your forefoot. It is really noticeable. In fact, I found it hard to get, and again I appreciate that I'm marginally injured, let's say, but I found it hard to really get going in the shoe. Maybe that's to do with the weight, or maybe that's to do with the stack, but really find some pace in the shoe, although again I have been trying to take it a little bit easy. I've enjoyed it to a degree because I like tech and I like geeking out, but the real noticeable thing, to be honest with you, is the weight. I like the upper. I think the upper's an improvement. I really dig that. I think it really fits lovely and holds your foot in well. I think that's a really strong thing about the shoe, and it was one of the big positives about the previous version. But yeah, overall the shoe, in terms of how it feels, it just feels, I don't know, it just feels really sort of bulbous underfoot down here, and kind of a bit awkward. But it does feel more stable than the previous version. But overall, it's okay, it's smooth-ish. It's not too bad. The Light Strike Pro in the shoe really does work well. And yeah, I don't know. The reason I'm struggling is because it's just, there's almost too much going on here. But let's carry on with the positives. I like the Light Strike Pro in here. I like the 3 layers of foam in here. I really love Light Strike Pro. It just really works for me. I like the fit, like I've said. And I like the increased stability of the shoe. I think that's a real positive of the shoe. Okay, people, so let's get into the dislikes, because there's quite a few. So look, weight. It's just ridiculous. I appreciate why it weighs so much, because of the stack height of the shoe and the 3 layers of foam and the strung upper and all that sort of stuff. I appreciate the weight, why it's so heavy, but really it's just too heavy for a sort of racing shoe. Oh, I don't know whether you'd call it that, but yeah, I just think it's that fraction too heavy. It's 1 or 2 ounces too heavy, really. So then it comes into that realm of how you're going to use it. Easy day, recovery day, long runs. Yeah, okay, that's fine, but I feel at the end of those long runs you really feel that weight. So again, the weight is a real negative. The price is ridiculous, £250. Nobody should be spending £250 on a shoe that you can't really use on race day. I get some people will, but I just don't see the point of it. I think you're much better off in the Adidas Pro 3 than this. So £250 is too much money for this shoe. I get why it is, by the way, in terms of all the tech and everything that they've thrown in here. I get all that. But really, £250 is just, yeah, you might as well just throw the money out the window or burn it. One thing I did like, sorry, going back, I did like the Continental rubber outsole. I don't know if I said that, but I do like that. I really like the tackiness of it. Anyway, coming back to the dislikes, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I just really am struggling with it, and I can't put my finger on why. And we need to do more in the shoe, and that's probably a lot of it. Maybe, you know, more miles in it, and you know, working with it, especially as I sort of carry on into New York City Marathon training. Maybe it'll come a little bit into its own, but I'd much rather be in the SC Trainer 2. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing with the shoe. I don't know, there's just something not right here. But anyway, I'm going to let you into that little secret. I actually picked these up cheaper than the £250. And so for the price that I paid for them, I'm not overly disappointed because I used the code. But you know, it's very hard to justify for you guys, for me. And in fact, I can't recommend the shoe. I just can't recommend the shoe to you. I honestly can't. There's nothing bad about it. Well, there is. There's the weight and the price. But I just think it's pointless that you buy this shoe. I think you're much better off buying the Adidas Pro 3. I think you'd be better off in them, 170 quid. You're much better off buying maybe the first version of this, the Strung version. You'd probably pick them up cheaper. This is just one of them shoes that makes no sense to sort of everyday runners. It's £250. It's over 50 min a stack. It's just pointless. It really is. I get why they do it, and I really appreciate Adidas, the technology that they're doing in here. That innovation should be, you know, applauded. But, you know, nearly 12 ounces. It's just, I mean, what's that all about? So yes, look. Let's come back, but the first impressions are, please, whatever you do, don't waste your money on this shoe. I think I need to get more miles into it to make a definitive conclusion on it. But I just think for the moment, at £250, it doesn't warrant you rushing out and buying it. I think the first version you can pick up cheaper. I'd go for that. Or buy the Adidas Pro 3, because that, without doubt, beats this hands down. But look, there we go. Okay, right, so let's leave it there. Don't need to make this video any longer than it needs to be. I would leave the sort of temptation to get the Prime X2, even if you've loved Prime X1. Wait a bit. And let's see maybe, you know, how you get on. Or if you're like me, you can get a code. Maybe it's worth a go. I think that's probably a good shout. If you can get 30% off, 20% off, something like that, then it may be worth rolling the dice with it. But my advice to you at the moment is whatever you do, don't pay the $250. Hang on in there and wait a little bit longer, as I said, or maybe pick up X1, because X1 Strung is a very, very good shoe. Yes, it didn't set the pulses racing, but it works for a lot of people. So yes, I would definitely recommend you there instead of here. Okay guys, right, so that's it. I'm a little bit, I wouldn't say disappointed, because as I said, I watched Thomas's video, so I knew what I was getting my sort of self into with it. But that's fine, I'm okay with that. But I'm looking forward to getting more miles on it and seeing how I get on with it and see if it comes to me a bit. And let's go from there. So yes, right, that's it. Okay, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I'll catch you later.